Hey guys, welcome from Mindrin. So today I promised you guys a little tutorial on making game pieces. So today we are going to go over, hey guys, I gotta fix my camera here real quick. A card that is already, it's one that we've already done, but it needs to be redone because we're going to turn it into a actual miniature weapon carved out of wood. I have TJ from Master Monk. He's supposed to be doing one for us here soon. So next time I see him, I need to give him some updated material. So I'm going to start the next process in that, and we're taking Bullfor's blade and we're going to draw it, and then I might even throw this up on the Glowforge. So the idea with this is that we're gonna start out with the sketch. Now, remind you guys, I am not an artist, but I do enjoy drawing, and I come up with all the concept art and the designs, and then I'll start handing them over to Michael, and then have him start as we go, updating and changing it and keeping the continuity going. So again, this is Bullfor's blade, very much like a Klingon bat'leth, but it's made out of wood, and in the storyline the iron yarwood is just as strong as steel, and steel is a little more harder to come by in this storyline. So the only thing that can really stand up to iron yarwood is steel, so you either need more iron yarwood or steel to cut the wood in the storyline. So and both are kind of a rare item, but the Minotaur in our story, they tend to use things of nature as their weapons, being iron yarwood, so they're pretty strong, and then they can turn that stuff into weapons of war and or protection for their herd. Anyway, so with that said, I'm going to start drawing the newer version of this, and then, like I said, maybe we'll take it and she can come up with some other ideas for to turn this into a card, turn this into a game piece, and I might, like I said, throw the artwork up onto the Glowforge. I know some of you guys don't have a Glowforge, but if you have a laser printer or 3D printer, and these are other options that you can use to turn your pieces into a game, but you got to start somewhere. And that somewhere is a concept drawing, and that is what we are going to do now. So I start with the basics, which I didn't have all on here. So I'm just going to kind of sketch out. I'm going to sketch out just a little bit of a baseline, just so I have an idea. And I'm just going to freehand this to start. So, I mean, I can even use this as my grip. You know, again, like I said, you know, you just start drawing. And I'm going to use my old card here as a little bit of a reference. Hopefully you guys can see that in the shot. Maybe not. That's okay. I'll show it to you guys later. So, I start just drawing a half circle, trying to make it as even as possible. And the idea with going with the colored pencils first is so that you can kind of get the general idea or shape of what it is that you're trying to draw. You might go over it with like another color, which I don't seem to have handy at the moment, but you can use that also as a to start. When you start seeing the lines that you like, you just follow those lines and start working with those lines. So what I'm doing here is I'm starting the basic shape of this wooden blade. Hopefully I'm not moving this too much, guys. Bear with me, this is like the first time I've tried filming and drawing all at the same time, but you kind of get the idea. You know, this is just it's very natural. This piece, it's wood, so we'll kind of work a little bit with the grains, and this isn't, of course, the finished product, obviously. So we're gonna do this because this is gonna be a part that's kind of wrapped like in string, and this here is gonna be leather wrapped. So I give myself some guidelines. Again, all you artists out there, I know you guys have all the formal training. You guys know, hey, no, you need to do this way and that. And by all means, if you guys have tips, please send me some ideas, and let's share with everybody else, because I'm learning too. And I have to say, some of the drawings I've done, I mean, obviously the more you draw, the better you're going to get. So it's just practice at this point. Taking my charcoal pencil, and it's a hard one, and just to start kind of refining my edge a little bit. Now it's natural wood, right? So it may not be exactly perfect, because I don't think the Minotaur could just go to the local blacksmith. And now see, I have an extra little spot here, but you know what, this is all about rounding this out. We're talking about maybe a Master Monk making about 100 of these, and doing an order, and then we'll pick the wood that kind of goes with it. I should hopefully see them in September at Gateway. Okay, so this end right here is going to be a little thicker, and it's a handle, so let's make the lines go this way and this way here a little bit. Again, so this is like string, so it's just wrapped, and this is really wrapped. I'm kind of arcing the lines a little bit to show the roundness. This is going to be leather, just kind of like your leather wrapping. And Minotaur get their leather from other animals. Definitely not the cow type animals, because those are sacred. We have in the game, in the world of Mindrin, there's the old world bison. And I'll have to show that to you. If I find a picture here, I'll show it to you a little bit. Okay, so I'm starting to get the shape a little bit. I mean, even though it's iron yarwood, maybe these guys have gone up against some humans with steel weapons, so there's still going to be maybe some chips in some of the thinner parts of the blade. So I'm starting to get kind of that look. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. Yeah, looks like the camera's on there. Hi guys. Sorry, hair's like all over the place. Sorry, it's just trying to do this with 2 different cameras. Be interesting process here. This is why we need more subscribers, so we can upgrade this equipment, get a couple cameras and some better lighting and some better sound. So that's my goal, is to get this up and going. Got some other stuff coming up too with our game that I'm going to share. So those of you guys who are staying current with us, be it through convention, social media, just our hey Brett on the street, got some cool stuff coming down the pipeline here that I'll be sharing with you here in a couple videos down the road here, probably soon. With that said, so I'm going to go right here to just to save some time here. So we're going to go right to, because you don't necessarily need to look at me the whole time here, because I'm looking down most of this. So you guys can kind of watch me design now. So here we are now in this drawing here. My original, it's kind of sawtooth in the inside. I'm going to change that. I'd rather make it more sawtooth on the outside of this part of the blade. So for hooking purposes, you know, they come in and it kind of serrated a little bit. So I think what we're going to do is just kind of add some backwards teeth to the blade to right about where it starts to curve. And I'm going to refine this within ink a little bit later. again, this case, it doesn't have to be symmetrical. It doesn't have to be perfect. But I mean, you can start using tools. I got this was all from an art store. These are all the different kinds of tools that you can use for arcs and angles and stuff like that. And those of you guys out there, they're basically, you know, geometry plates and help with the angles of your weapon. If you want to be a little bit more specific, and rulers, of course, and that's fine. In this case, this weapon is not exactly perfect. It might be balanced for the user, but in this case, it might be a little bit more archaic, because not like I said, like these guys have their own blacksmiths. They're always on the move in the story, looking to find a permanent home. So they don't really have time to set up permanent residence, though that's what they are striving for. So this is string, so I'm going to give this a little bit of an edge. And again, a lot of this we're going to refine. Now, the other thing I've done before is I've taken these drawings at this point, make copies, and then work forward with that copy. So I don't have to change this, or if I have to make a change, I can easily go back to this portion of the drawing, fix it, copy it, and go forward. Or you can scan this into a program. Now, I have the Wacom and the Coral program that can actually, I can go in and clean up a lot of the edges. I can make things a little more symmetrical. I can get more detail in the wood portion of the grain. If you could probably see the card as I'm trying to do this upside down, it's a little more wood grain on the weapon itself, but it's again, it's not perfect. And I think I got a little shadow because I want shadow in here a little bit, and I can start kind of making some grain, and that's just lines. I mean, we might consider this, maybe this came from a more natural piece from the Yarwood tree, and so I'm going to flare this out a little bit here. Might even put a little bit of a chip here just to give it a little, like it's been used, because I'm sure this is Bullfour's blade. Those of you guys that know my characters, our characters in the game, Bullfour in the very beginning of the storyline was the leader of the Minotaur, and he kind of basically sacrificed himself by impaling Zagru, who's also in our game, who's the leader of the orcs, through the chest and up the breastbone with his horn, and in return, Zagru is able to take his sword and stick it right to the back of Bullfour's neck and kind of killed him. But it's not the last time we're going to see Bullfour, because you have a whole another part of the storyline coming your way. So this is kind of where I might kind of leave this here at this point. I'll make some copies, and then from the copies we're going to kind of go forward, and I'll try to make a couple different things that we can do with this card. We'll make, or this artwork, we'll make it into a card, as I was started to say. I'll try to maybe see if I can make something like this out of a polymer clay. So we'll try to take this project and make a few things out of it. As I refine this, I'm going to give this artwork to Michael, my McComb, my artist, and have him render a whole new drawing that will be a final drawing that will be in the next phase of the card game. But I'm also hoping to have TJ at Master Monk make us a prototype and do like a limited run. So keep an eye out there for Etsy. You might just see a new one of these up on the site here soon. You'll be the first to hear about it right now. On the limited run, I also have another weapon that's not in the game yet. It might be in another expansion down the road here. And that would be a limited run of 50, but we have some design things that we have to hammer out before that can happen. So with this, we'll leave it at the basic sketch right now. So we'll make this our project. Those of you guys who can see us up there. Hopefully this hasn't been too hard of a video to keep track with. I know that, like I said, I'm splicing a cell phone and my tablet together until we can definitely upgrade to a camera or two for our next phase in the YouTube project here. Welcome from Mindrin. But with that said, I think what I'll do is I'll freeze this here right now, and we'll put this as welcome from Mindrin Bull Fours Blade. And then that way we can kind of keep track of what's going on here. So next video, we'll step it up a little bit, and I'll make some copies, and we'll see where we can go with that. We'll see where we can take it off. And like I said, I like to throw one of these up on the Glowforge. I know a lot of you may not have a Glowforge. If you have a laser printer, great. Go to your community college. A lot of times at their makerspace, if you find out and talk to the guys there, a lot of times like on Saturday and Friday afternoons and all of Saturdays, a lot of times it's open to the public. So if you have an idea for a game piece, and you can go in and talk to these guys and say, you know, hey, I want to do this on a 3D printer. Hey, I want to do this on a 3D laser cutter, and get it the specs and program. If they need it in a PNG, usually it's, I think, a PNG or a JPEG might work. But again, it depends on the program. Talk to the guys over at the makerspace and get their feedback. They might be able to just say, hey, you know, it's cool as is. Just scan it or throw it on a thumb drive and bring it in, and we'll put it in and render it or whatever, and make a game piece for you. So you can utilize your community college area, your community college makerspace. I know here at College of the Canyons, they have it open for the public, I think from noon on Friday, and then I forgot what time until on Saturday, but it's just another way for you to make some prototype pieces. Take advantage of that. So anyway, with that said, guys, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Follow us on our social media at Rom Card Game and at Realms of Mindrin. Make sure you hit those notification buttons, and please leave some comments below. We need some comments, and let us know how we're doing. Let us know if there's any other content you want me to do. And guys, be safe. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time on the Welcome from Mindrin. All right, guys, take care. Love you guys. Bye.
Why is my sword on fire?